Welcome to the TLW Podcast. I'm Jonathan Pixley here with my co-host, Dr. Sean Owens. Dr. Owens, as always, welcome.
Excited to be here, man. Let's go.
Also behind the scenes, our other partner, Mr. Jace Augustus, recently married Jace Augustus, which we missed on the last podcast. We should have announced that. Jace Augustus with JCB Media, who is basically making this show possible, because otherwise it would be just two guys and a guest sitting up here talking to somebody without any type of technology involved with it, which means you're not watching us at this point if that's the case. So we thank Jace for everything he brings to our company as well. We have, as always, all of our guests are amazing and incredible, but a very special one to me personally here today in Miss Sherry Mockler. Sherry, welcome.
No, thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah. Sherry, when I first asked her to do this, was concerned that she hadn't done anything big enough to be on the TLW podcast, which first of all says something about the TLW podcast. But second of all, could not be more untrue than it is. And the reasons that I'm fixing to prove that, because I'm going to have to read your bio, because you've accomplished too much for me just to memorize. Okay, you have had a huge impact on the community in a multitude of ways. But let's just go through your bio so that our viewers understand exactly who they're dealing with here. Before I go through the bio, however, I do want to thank Kidder Dental for allowing us to use this amazing office space to film our podcast. And as always, and look, not just because they're letting us use the space and not just because you're fixing to become a partner as well, but this is, if you need high level dental care and all of the different capacities that it's possible, you need to come to Kidder Dental. You need to see Dr. Liz, Dr. Dustin, and now Dr. Sean Owens. I know you've been working here for a while, but I know you're phasing into a little heavier.
It's about to get a little bit more real.
It's about to get a little bit more real for sure. So back to Sherry Mockler. Sherry is a strength and conditioning coach and founder of Sherry Mockler Strong, which we're going to get into that in a little while. For over 15 years, she holds a degree in microbiology from LSU, is a certified strength and conditioning specialist with distinction through the National Strength and Conditioning Association, along with USA Weightlifting Level 1 and multiple personal and group training certifications. You're one of those people that has all those initials next to you.
I do.
Right? You're kind of a nerd like that.
I really am a nerd like that.
Yeah. Athletic background spans decades. I'm sitting next to a initial nerd too, by the way, in the dental.
I'm a sucker for letters and titles. It's great. Keep it going, man.
Even if nobody knows what they are, they're like, wow,
I know.
That's
good
cool.
enough, man. I'm looking for the alphabet. Let's go.
Y'all could speak in abbreviations,
We
and initials. Yeah. Her athletic background spans decades, beginning with competitive swimming and martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not the same. And extending into collegiate water skiing at both University of Texas at Austin and LSU. She later competed in triathlons through her 20s, 30s, and 40s, and has completed 2 marathons, both in the Swiss Alps, one at the age of 50 and the next at the age of 60.
Love it.
First of all, 60? Really?
Don't believe it.
Okay. Her unique approach focuses on building strength for longevity. We're going to talk about that in your work with the elderly, emphasizing functional movement and injury prevention. A mother of 6, she brings practical and real-world perspective to balancing health, family, and performance. So that's the person that said, I'm not sure if I've done enough to be on the TLW podcast, but she is sitting next to us. So we are excited. Okay, so let's jump right into it.
Sure.
Okay. You've accomplished quite a bit. Okay. I want you to talk about what made you think you hadn't accomplished anything or enough to be on this.
I guess we don't see what we do. We don't really look back and go, yeah, I did that. We don't carry that with us, To me, the focus is ahead. And what am I doing now? How am I helping people now? Certainly we carry it with us to the degree that we've learned, but I told Jonathan, I said, Jonathan, I only have like 2 months to go do something epic, and, But thank you for saying all those kind words, because
Well, I just read what you've done. I didn't just make it up, right? And
right.
so when you say we don't carry or focus on that, a lot of people do. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people do look back and go, look
Mm-hmm.
at what I
Mm-hmm.
did. Look at this,
Mm-hmm.
that, the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Living the glory days, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not the case with you. So like, I want you to talk about why, like, is that a natural thing for you? Are you intentional about that?
Pretty much, yeah, because I'm planning ahead and I'm going, okay, what's next? For example, I'm 63 and they have what's called the National Senior Olympics or that National Senior Games. And they have swimming, they have powerlifting, they have triathlons, and I'm going, okay, well, what am I going to enter? So you have to qualify 1 year, and then the games or the National Olympics are the next year. So there's even qualifying years, when you go into it. And it keeps me focused. It keeps me going. I have a goal. I need a goal. I need a focus, and I need a pinpoint.
Mm.
And I'm not one to just, go this way. Now, in my life, have I gone from A to B in a straight line? No. I think that makes you a little more interesting sometimes, a little zigzaggy path. But I need that focus for me.
By the way, fellow triathlete here. Yeah,
Really?
and y'all, I call you the crazy athletes because you do the crazy
If
stuff.
you want to exit
right?
the room real quick,
Right.
just go ahead and get the
Yeah,
talk.
we can finish this.
It's just crazy. I like to stay in shape and feel good about myself, but y'all do some
It's
crazy
just the
stuff.
screws that
Yeah,
are loose. That's
yeah,
it.
a little bit different. A little bit different.
All right, so let's go back to the beginning.
Sure.
Interest in athletics. Can you recall anything that specifically brought that about for you? And then on the heels of that, can you discuss what all sports you were involved in growing up?
Um, what was the first question?
Yeah, you'll have to forgive me. I'm on about 400 milligrams of caffeine over the past hour and a half.
And look, I'm old. I can remember one thing at a time.
You're
That's it.
36. You're 36. I got you. All right. So, interest in athletics. Can you recall
Sure.
where, like a very formative image you have in your brain of where that interest came from?
Not really. It's
Really?
just what I did.
I love that. Okay.
Oh yeah, I climbed door jams and closets, and literally, I was told anyway when I was younger they put a cowbell on me because they couldn't find me because I was all over the place. Yeah, true story. So no, I just was always moving. Yeah,
What all sports did you play growing up?
mainly swimming.
Mainly swimming. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I did. And really, honestly, back in the day, girls didn't have many sports.
Mm.
My brothers were hockey players, and we didn't have girl hockey teams back then. And of course, me being me, more of the tomboy, I didn't have figure skates. I had hockey skates, but I didn't puck handle. I didn't know how to do that. We didn't have that. So probably had there been more availability of sports, I would have done more, but swimming just seemed to be there and easy. And my mom was a swimmer, so did that with
What
her.
strokes or stroke?
All of them.
All of them,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Did you
Flying back,
invent?
Preston.
Did you invent a fifth one to do? Like,
That's funny. Actually, I could side stroke. I don't know if that's a competition though. So
We can make that happen. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. All right. So let's bookend that. So
Sure.
that's earlier years. You have made a decision to stay competitive with competition. Present time. Is there any specific reason behind that? I know you said it's just what you enjoyed when you were younger. Is it something you just still enjoy now? Are there specific reasons health-wise that you're doing it, or is it for me, it's for sanity reasons?
It's just sanity keeping me out of the psych ward.
Yeah, I get it.
No,
Yeah.
seriously, it's going in, and now I'm mainly, I'm swimming because I'm trying out for some of the Olympic sports, but are the National Senior Games. But I go in because of the things that I come out with from the gym, lifting something heavy or going into the gym and going, I don't know if I can do this. I'm tired. I'm whatever. And you walk out successful of some sort, some challenge that maybe, you had within your head or even with a weight, and you come out, successful, I think anyway.
can you dispel the myth of lifting heavy? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
absolutely. Women, I train mainly women, and we lift, we resistance train with dumbbells and that, and women have a hard time understanding what heavy is. You know, they'll look at me sometimes, they'll pick something up and they'll go, oh, this is heavy. I'll go, yeah, lift it again, put it down, lift it back up again. It's okay. As long as you have good form, as long as we've built up to it, progressive overload and all that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I find, the more females I talk to about it, that if we have clients, for example, which we do have female clients as well, and they will ask about nutrition and they will ask about working out, and the immediate thing is, I don't want to get too bulky.
Yeah, I was just
Well, you know what? I don't
that.
want you to either.
Yeah,
So first I'm like, it looks weird. I don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
You deal with that, I would
I
imagine.
do. And then I have to tell them too, literally to get there, we're talking years, we're talking genetics, we're talking lots of time in the gym. And it's a lot more than they think to get there.
But how do you dispel, like, how do you, I guess, get them out of that mindset of, I don't want to lift too heavy because I don't want to get too bulky, this, that, the other. Like, do you promote, because I'm attracted to an athletic female. I'm married to one, right? Okay, so do you promote that? Do you promote just lean muscle over fat? How do you go about that?
Well, when there is hesitation, kind of what you first started to say there was, the funny thing about being a trainer is your client really deep down wants to do things for you.
Yeah.
They want to make you happy.
Sure.
And as a trainer, sometimes you got to be happy. You got to be careful of that, and maybe pull them back if they're going too far, their form's not right or whatever. But they do want to perform for you. And so you have to be on top of that to guide them in the right way and say, no, you can do this,
Right.
And just to reassure them that they can.
Yeah.
And that heavy is not bad. Heavy is good because if you want to make the gains that you want to make, you have to lift heavy.
Yeah. And my response is, okay, but you claim you want to lose fat. Do you know that the fastest way to lose fat is to gain muscle? Right.
Right. That's like your bigger engine in the car.
Yeah.
Consumes more gas.
Right.
More muscle, you burn more calories.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what caused you to get into personal training? And then kind of piggyback that with what are some of the obstacles you've had to overcome since getting in? I know you've got a COVID story too.
Right.
Right. So
how things changed and pivoted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do an audible during COVID.
Yep.
Well, it was really, I was a stay-at-home mom for about 18 years. And it was the dissolving of my marriage where I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to get back into the workforce. And how do I do that? I really had no idea what to do. Even though I had a microbiology degree, it was like, well, haven't been in the workforce. How am I going to write a resume over 18 years of saying, well, this is what I did, and that transfer over to someone wanting to hire me for a job, very different. And in 18 years, things had really changed, And so that was very intimidating. But so to getting into personal training, I had a good friend that said, Sherry, you'd be a good trainer. And I thought, I train myself, but I don't know about training anybody else. That was a pretty daunting thought. So, but in going back to work, and the scientist in me said, okay, maybe personal training. I do like to write. I knew a freelance writer, and I thought, okay, kind of look into that. And then what I had done before is occupational safety and health, environmental work. And so I had 3 people and more I was going to talk to in those disciplines, and I do pros and cons and all that. And went, okay, I don't know what I want to do. And God help me, because I'm just going to do a finger drop right here. And oh, look at that. It landed on personal training. And I went, okay, this is what we're going to do. So I looked up a very basic personal training certification and decided, okay, we'll just try this. And then when I did it, I absolutely fell in love with it. It was everything that I wanted to do in college, but we really didn't have 63, 40 some odd years ago,
Yeah.
They really didn't. They didn't have kinesiology, at least that I was aware of in the colleges that I went to. That they had PE major, which I didn't want to be a PE major. I think that's great. PE majors are awesome, but that's not what I wanted to do. It wasn't in my heart. Anyway, so I thought, okay, here we go. And once I realized, okay, this is awesome, I started looking at who's doing what are the acronyms after their name, because I want the best of the best. And so the National Strength and Conditioning Association has the gold standard in certifications for strength and conditioning specialists. In fact, now if you're at a D1 school and you want to be in the strength program, you have to have this certification. And it's a big deal, a lot of study, definitely more in depth than my other one that I had, but it's the best thing in the whole wide world. Watching movement, learning why are we doing this? What are we doing? Not just I'm doing these exercises, like what is the science behind it? Why are we doing this? And then of course that branched off into stretching and fascial stretching and the whole fascial system and learning that, and yeah, so I went down that rabbit hole.
It's crazy.
Here I am.
So Sherry trains one of the gyms she trains clients in is the gym that I work out at, Epic Fitness, and so I'll train, right? We have clients who go in there and we train them through plyometrics and explosion training and strength training, and I have a pretty good grasp on that area, right? And then I hear her talk. And I go, okay, I need you to just walk away, right?
That's really
just
funny.
walk away and let me feel smart for a little while. But the resource that you have been, not just to me, but to so many people from a standpoint of giving the why, right? I mean, I know you kind of geek out on that.
I do.
She'll send me a text when she goes to one of these exercise physiology conventions and she's like, look, my people are here,
Yes.
And,
it is.
you say you fell in love with it, okay? And I know you have a science background, but did they just merge like love at first sight, or did it actually take some time for you to fall in love with it?
No, it happened love at first sight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it really did. And you had asked me before about, changes. And so going back to that part, I was at a performance gym and I was there and I really thought that that's what I wanted to do was performance. And I actually really did like it. However, there was a little pivot after COVID and my clientele changed and, different reasons. And I ended up more, it's kind of the older clientele. And I have to say, they are very appreciative,
Mm.
wanting to learn more. Sometimes, well, when you're dealing with high school, sometimes you're dealing with a lot more than just
Yeah.
that child.
Yes.
And there's a lot that goes around it, and they might be all in. And that just, I realized wasn't for me. And now I've transferred to more of the older clientele, the 40, 50, 60-year-old, and in fact, even plus, year old woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
So at this point now, is that pretty much strictly who you're sticking with is a little bit older clientele? Okay, interesting. Can you describe, I mean, you don't have to go into the science on it specifically, but can you describe the difference in terms of what things look like with the clients that you're working with now versus what you were working with previously with the younger
Okay, I love
generation?
your question. And thank you for asking because it's no different.
I love that.
It's no different. You can't tell me that an 85-year-old or 70-year-old doesn't need power, doesn't need strength, doesn't need mobility, doesn't need flexibility and balance. We all need those 5 things. I don't care how old you are. Doesn't matter. I train my people now just like I did my athletes. And in fact, science has even shown, I read a study a while back, that they're thinking that power might be even more important than strength for our older population. And I tell my people all the time, you know why we're doing this? Because if that curb comes up really fast and you can't move your foot down and you can't go like that with that, then guess what? You're on the ground. We
How-
want that trip. We don't want that trip to become a fall,
How intense are you with your athletes? Do you get get after it with them?
With my older clientele.
Yeah, because you say you train them the exact same.
I do.
The pace of it.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah,
All
okay.
right.
Yeah,
I
no.
just want to be clear.
You want to
Like,
get invited back to the
come on.
party. I got you.
I want to be clear to our 70-year-old
Right.
viewers that
Right.
that if you want to work out with Sherry, you better get ready.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to train before you train with me. Get a trainer, then come see me.
Yeah.
No, but it really is. But the thing is, they understand it. And I go, this is why we're doing this. And they
This-
go, ah.
Well, I think this is my outsider looking in perspective. My degree is kinesiology, so I'm just sitting
Okay.
here
Nice.
super excited, and I can't
Yeah.
wait till we get done with this so I can go ahead and pick your brain for another hour.
Hmm.
But with the mental maturity of the individuals that you're working with, there is probably, I'm guessing, much more of a desire to understand the physiology or like basically from an anatomical level or structural level why you're doing what y'all are doing.
Sure. And that maybe not the physiology at the cellular level, but I still in some ways do that. Okay, well, if we do it this way, we're more in an anaerobic, approach or more aerobic approach or kind of those little things that are going on, but I don't go into too much. It's more I literally drive it home that hey, when you do this and you do this, this is why we're doing this move. When you're at home and you do this, and I want you to keep that move. I don't want you to lose that move because I've got people coming to me now and going, I lost it. Start now before you lose it. Ask yourself, what do you want to do in 10 years from now? What does it look like? What does your movement look like in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? I know what I want my movement to look like. And it's got to start now. It's use it or lose it. It was Bo Shakespeare, LSU track and field, said, you train slow, you'll be slow. Well, if I'm not training my clientele to be somewhat fast, at least in some sense in our training, and then the situation comes in life out there, on the playing field of life that, I got to be fast right now and I can't because I haven't done it, we got to keep it.
Love it.
To talk about, because I think this is part of why your business has grown over the last few years, but, and I want you to talk about that as well, what you attribute to the growth, but talk about the different things that you offer. Like, for example,
Oh, yeah.
people wouldn't realize, okay, you're talking about training, but what you do with, deep tissue and stretching and things like that, like, my shoulder, I had surgery on it a few years ago. It was worse probably. And the doctor who did the surgery told me it might end up being bad again because of the arthritis in it. And, it was probably worse after the surgery than it was before. And, I really couldn't find any relief or any mobility. And she has fun when she stretches me because it doesn't do the same things that my other arm does. And she kind of laughs and smirks.
And I usually go, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That usually comes out like, oops.
But you've had a positive impact on it for me. And so it's created some relief for me. Talk about different things that you offer.
Yeah. So there's a lot of rabbit holes in this business, right? There's nutrition and, a lot of different ways to go. I got into fascial stretching, and there are a lot of different ways to stretch people. There's like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 types of approaches to stretching. I came across one called Stretch to Win, and it is different. It's on a table, and it requires a stretch person because we get traction through the joint and circumduction, and it's not anything you can do yourself really, and it's different. So we take the fascial lines, if you will, and instead of like when we're not doing anything and stretching, they become tangled like this, and so the stretching does this to it, and then it glides better and it moves better, and well, I could go down on a rabbit hole on that one, but so yeah, so I have fascial stretching, and I do I have an online training program.
We're going to talk about that.
So okay.
Save that one. Yeah.
Oh, save that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
save that one.
And really that's about all that I've added to my training is that. So
Well, it's enough, but at the same time, when we say personal trainer, I want people to be aware of the fact that there's more to it than you just go in the gym and work out with you.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the growth. Besides adding things, what do you attribute the growth of your business to? I mean, sure, things happened after COVID. I got it, but why do you think it's grown? Clientele has grown. I mean, you've
Yeah.
gotten to the point where if you're not full, you're close to it
I
right
am.
now, right?
Yeah. One thing that happened is I started in group training and over at Exerfit at Dr. Ripple's place, if you
Yep.
remember that. And he
Yep.
was on top of this. He was on top of training before Baton Rouge was on top of that type of
It
training.
sure was. Yeah.
Yeah. And he brought it here. And so I did a lot of group training and made a lot of relationships there, and over many years. And so when COVID happened and I pivoted and I got out of the group training space and teams and things like that, and it went more personal, the clients would come to me, and then word of mouth, certainly that grows. Um, it it really comes down to what we do is so much more than just strength training. It's connection, you know, um, and it's encouragement. It's being there and listening. Sometimes, boy, we just listen, right?
Yeah.
Well, and you might not with your uh, athletes, there might not be as much of that, but certainly the older clientele, we bring them hope, hope. Can I make a team, or can I get this back? And all that connection right there is huge. So I really attribute it to that. Really, I had a guy one time when Exofit had closed, and we were having a party, last day party and all that, and somebody came up to me, can put a tear in my eye, darn it.
Well, good.
And he said, Sherry, he goes, I want to thank you. He said, I was losing my daughter through this time that I was working here, and you helped me through that. And she had passed away. I had no
Had no
idea.
idea.
No idea. But it was just that interaction, whatever that was connecting with people. I mean, not to get real deep philosophically, but our deepest pain is a disconnect from people or a group or whatever it is, and that's what we do. We connect,
That's powerful. All right, so you alluded a second ago to the online business,
Mhm.
Sherry Mockler Strong. Can you
Mhm.
kind of walk us through the reason behind it, the inception of it,
Sure.
and what y'all are doing through the online business?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I have to thank Jonathan for that because I had talked about it for years, and it was like, oh, I really need to do that, or that's something I really need to
I
do.
learned a long time ago, don't mention it to him if you're not ready to do it on the spot,
Right?
because he will
Right?
remind you every single
Right?
day.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know what
so-
y'all are talking
Or a
about.
couple times a
So
day.
true. Oh, I'll tell you what, though, best person to work with.
Yeah.
Absolutely the best. You talk about a natural coach. Um,
I knew we brought her on for a good reason. This is
right?
Yeah.
Well, that $20 later
Yeah.
will help. But, no, but I talked about it for years because I write down my workouts. I don't just wing them, It's just like an athlete. You don't just walk in and go, oh, what are we doing today? You've got a lesson, you're
Intentional. Yeah.
very intentional.
Yeah.
How am I going to know what to progressive overload if I don't know
Periodization
what
doesn't
we did?
happen without it. Yeah.
Periodization doesn't happen. Yeah. And so I had them all, and I'm like, well, people might want this. The people that I have trained that are not here anymore, they know my training, they know me, they might want this. So we were talking, and anyway, we finally, started working together. And so it's an online training program uh, with an app, and it's for really geared towards women 40, 50, and 60, and maybe even a plus or another plus, depending, and it's strength training. And it can be a subscription, or you can buy, single workouts. I have specialty collections, which are, let's say you're going on the road and you want to work out, but you don't know about the gym. So I go through how you can use tubing or mini bands and throw them in your luggage. And then here's a 20-minute workout, you can do in your room. And so it's a way to reach out to people and just make these available to them. I think women don't know how to train and lift.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I paid real deep attention to, because it's important to me, I'm a big stickler on form. Have to have form. And so on the app, at the beginning of every workout or program, I have a 5-minute video going over every single exercise on that day, and then how not to do it and how to do it, also how to progress it and how to regress it if you need to. So, and then every 4 weeks comes a new one, just like the athletes,
Mother's Day is coming up. I got some ideas right now.
There you go.
There we
I
go.
love it.
And you can find it at sherrymocklerstrong.com.
Correct.
Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
it's on one of the drop-down bars.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going through that process with you, because I, at the same time, with the help of Jace Augustus again, because otherwise we'd just be talking about it.
Right.
We were doing a different online business with basketball. And so basically I was taking you I was just a few steps ahead of you, and I was just saying, here's what we did
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and but we, the good thing was, and I'm going to give our guy a plug, Evan Gutierrez, who
Yes, thank you.
who is phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
He's amazing with the websites and with the production and all the things.
Mhm.
I just happened to have met him doing mine and
Right.
handed you off to him, and the next
Right.
thing you know, it's kind of worked out. So
Yeah.
I know big things are going to come from it, and the best part is it's truly something that is needed, right? And the good thing is it doesn't have to be just for the elderly. I mean,
No,
anybody can
no, it
benefit from
doesn't.
it.
It doesn't. Yeah.
So
Certainly
it's-
men can do it as well, or younger people. It's just that, you know, I would do things a little bit different if it was a young male,
sure,
you know,
sure.
but depends on his level as well.
Okay, so mother of 6. You alluded to your divorce a little, I guess, a while back.
Yeah.
And a big thing for us here at TLW in dealing with clients is it's a holistic approach that we have,
Sure.
right? So while we may have a business executive or we may be dealing with an athlete, everybody goes through things, right? Everybody has negative things. Everybody gets into a valley at some point in time. And so part of what we offer is the ability, we are certainly not psychiatrists, psychologists, any of those things. Although I feel like as a coach, you are all of those things, right? At some point in time
Right,
when
right.
you're dealing with players and
Absolutely.
whatnot. Would you be willing to talk about some of the difficulties you went through during that time? And then most importantly, how'd you come out on the other side? Because there are people who would have gone through what you went through who don't come out on the other side. And look, we fully recognize the fact that there are remnants of all those things. Like anything that's happened to you in the past is still there in the past, but it affects you. But to cause you to take the strides that you did, to get up out of the bed, to go say, you know what, I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to become a personal trainer. Oh, you know what? I'm going to make an online business, right? All of these things and the amazing things that you continue to do. How'd you do it?
Yeah. First thing is pray. Pray a lot. And I prayed constantly, not ceasing. And I wrote down my prayers. And I think that helps, because when you're writing down a prayer and you go back and you look at it, because it is a prayer. I mean, God's hearing that, and it brings you clarity. It brings you an understanding when you go back and you look at it and you go, God was there. God had a hand in this. And it helped, that focal point I was talking about. It gave me a focal point, and God certainly had a hand in leading me in putting the people in my life. So certainly prayer was one of them. And then bootstraps, and no matter how small those bootstraps get, you got bootstraps. I'm going to share a quick story.
Please.
There is, I was working for Dr. Ripple, teaching swim lessons. And, they have the little guys, the 3 and 4 year olds, and they used to give those to me. I guess, I don't know. I seemed like the grandma in the group, and they'd give them to me. Well, one of the first things we do in the pool is we work on breath control. Okay. And so they have to learn to hold their breath, and they do, even though they're crying and they say they can't. And so we go, okay, we're going under, and we go under and we come up and they cry. And you go, okay, we're going again. And they go down, they come up, they cry. One more time, they're crying. And I go, repeat after me. I want you to say this. I can do it. And they go, I can do it. And I go, I just did it. I just did it. And I can do it again. And I can do it again. That's exactly what we do. When you look at your life and you examine it close enough, there's something in your life that you went, and if you tell yourself, I can do it. Okay, I just did something like that, maybe not exactly, and I can do it again. And my next step's going to be a little bit deeper than the first one. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what we push here at TLW is it's a decision, because we all have a decision, right? You have a decision to take that approach or the exact opposite approach. And very rarely is there middle ground,
Right.
with things that happen of that magnitude, right?
Right.
And so to know you is, I mean, it's a privilege, first of all, but like the idea behind knowing your story,
Yeah.
right, is really, really cool. And I know when I asked you yesterday and I said, would you be willing to talk about this? And you, of course, there's hesitation at the beginning for sure with any request like that. But then when you agreed to it, it's just so important for people who are watching this to hear that from you. It's one thing. Look, I can sit here and talk about it. I've been married 26 years. I can say, you know what? If you get divorced, you need to get up out of the bed. Dude, I haven't been divorced, right? It's like anything else that I haven't done that I'm trying to.
Yeah.
But somebody who's gone through it and gotten through it.
Yeah. And the other thing I want to add to that is gratitude. Because if you don't have gratitude for something, and if you don't find it, and it's not like, oh, I had it once, and I'm done. You gotta reboot that gratitude
Every day.
every day, every
Yeah.
single day.
Love it.
And that's huge.
One of the things that we like to ask our guests is what their or his or her specific definition of success is, and
Yeah.
if that is something that has evolved or changed for the guests over the years. I would love to hear what you have to say about that, Sherry.
Yeah. Well, we were kind of talking about this before
Mhm.
we started filming, and I have a book called I Read a Lot, and I know you read a lot as well, and I know you read a lot actually. Donna's given me several books
There you
too.
go. Yep.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it. I'm reading everything from all that personal development to fascial training to anatomy. Like love it all. But there was one book called Power of Moments, and in there was a square, and if you remember the Punnett square from biology of how genes come together and the recessive and dominant and all that. Well, in there it wasn't genes, but it was it had at the top two columns and then two rows, and it had low purpose, high purpose, low passion, and high passion, meaning towards your career or life or whatever. And anybody with a low purpose and a low passion, you might not be thriving and moving forward. And then of course, just to move quickly through this, high passion and high purpose is where you're going to thrive and where life's going to move forward. And I, in many ways stumbled upon it. All of a sudden I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then it's a purpose, when you get that combination right there, it's life. That's life, And then, like I said, if you can make a career somehow out of it, and it's not work then anymore,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So at TLW, we base everything we do on 5 pillars. Okay. The first one is honor God above all else. So we're going to take that one out because we know that that's the most important one. I'm going to list the other 4 to you. Okay.
Okay.
And after I list them, I want you'll obviously relate to all of them, but which one stands out the most to you and how you live your daily life and how you, including your professional life.
Okay. Oh, this is tricky.
I don't know. The first one, or actually the second one, is discipline is diligence.
Okay.
Okay. Value people over profit.
Mm-hmm.
Lead through service, not self. And build legacy through integrity.
Oh, wow. It's got to be the people.
Okay. Why?
Sorry.
Go.
Again, what are we without connection? If we don't have connection, kind of what is the rest of it? Sorry. I get older, I tear up.
No.
So yeah, I would say the people. Yeah.
So you value people over profit.
Absolutely.
Above all else.
Above all else. For me.
What does that look like? Like, so you go to work with a client. Okay. What are you seeing in them? Some people see dollar signs.
Wow, yeah, that's a great question.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you see
Yeah.
that the person who see dollar signs first doesn't see?
Yeah. Darn. Got the tears again.
Let's go. He's good at this.
What's that? He's good at
he's
that.
good at
It's
this.
not our first rodeo.
No, honest. Every single client I have, I look and I go, how are you today? Anything about me, it's gone. It's about you. And how are you? And honest, years and years ago, I started trying to look at people for who Jesus is within them. Not what they look like, not what shoes you're wearing, or if you have a, fancy shirt or whatever it is, or drive a fancy car, you know? Who are you as a spirit and a soul and, Jesus' child? And that person has come to me for a reason, you know? And so I'm going to ask you, how are you doing today? How's it going? And I'm going to remember your knee, and I'm going to remember your shoulder, and I'll try to remember if what you did this weekend, or what you told me, and so yeah, that's what I do. Connect and greet people.
I love that.
Hmm.
You spend so much of your day every day working on changing other people's habits.
Mm.
I want to know about your habits.
Oh man,
What are the specific
you
things?
didn't tell me he was going to ask these questions like this. Uh,
So
well, I
I'd love to know, like, what are your daily habits that keep you more or less focused on what is important in your ability to impact others, what makes you feel centered, what is more or less your compass every single day?
That's really tough because there's a lot, and I can throw a lot in there. How many do I get? No, I'm
You can
just
have as
teasing.
many
No,
as you
no,
want to.
no. How long do we have? Um, Certainly my sense of purpose.
Mhm.
I kept going back to that one. This is not only my purpose, it's my passion to get up and to help people. Yeah, but I know you said to direct me, but it gets me out of bed, you know? And I honestly couldn't imagine doing anything else. And I mean, I would throw in there, and this is a little offside to what you were saying, but my own workouts.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, I love those. I love to move and feel what it feels like, and change things. And
Do you have things though, for example, in your daily schedule that are non-negotiables? These are every days. I got to do this. Like, so get up, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, read scripture.
with prayer, yeah, yeah,
like what are those things?
correct. I really don't. And besides letting my German Shepherd dog out to go to the bathroom and have a cup of coffee, does that count? That's gets me out of bed.
That's a habit. Yeah.
It's a habit. Gets me up and going. No, that's one thing I do need to add though, is honest, that part. Sometimes, unfortunately, that's what I can put in the background, and go, well, I'll get to it on Sunday, and that's wrong. So it's
But see,
something I
I
need to add.
attribute that to the fact that you're so hell bent on taking care of others.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we see that. We
Yeah.
see that with clients often, and
Sure.
it's amazing to see that once they realize, oh, it's okay to take care of me. Like
Mhm.
some people they don't even accept that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's almost guilt ridden, right?
Sure. Sure.
All right. Last question.
Oh man.
Okay. I'm gonna change it up.
Let's go, man.
So we ask every guest,
Mhm.
this question, but we typically ask them at a much younger age. In other words, you'll understand.
Mhm.
So typically I would ask you, what would Sherry Mockler today at 36 years old look across the table from, let's say, 16-year-old Sherry Mockler? Okay.
Mhm.
That's not where we're going to go.
Okay.
We're going to go Sherry Mockler today
Mhm.
and what you know now. You look across the table
Mm.
from Sherry Mockler, who has just been through the most traumatic experience you went through,
Mhm.
okay, that we discussed earlier. That Sherry Mockler knows what she knew then,
Mhm. Mhm.
but you know what you know now,
Mhm.
and you can offer that Sherry Mockler
Mhm.
one piece of advice.
Wow.
What is it?
Have more courage. Yeah.
Explain.
Hmm. I don't think many people, not that I'm saying this like, oh my gosh, I'm going to say this and I'm going to be so open, but scared. People get scared and they a lot of times won't talk about it. And it might be something else. The fear comes
Sure.
out. Yeah. So don't have fear. You're going to be okay. God's there with you, you know? And again, I can do this. I just did it, and I can do it again. Yeah.
Oh, man, drop the swimming on us. I love it. Yes.
I think that's a mic drop.
We can't say anything else.
Was that a mic drop?
We're out.
Yeah, he about to cause us a tear up over here. Wow, that's amazing stuff. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
No,
thank
thank you,
you
Sherry.
for asking.
Today.
I'm very flattered. Thank you.
And you have done enough big things to be on the TLW podcast. It's been incredible. We really appreciate your time
Yeah.
and your transparency and your willingness to talk about
Yeah.
anything and everything. So again, Sherry Mockler Strong at sherrymocklerstrong.com.
Yes.
To our viewers, if you have never worked with Sherry, I don't know if she has room for you in her personal training because, again, she's pretty full right now, a waiting list as well. But if you want access to her, go pay the subscription because it is well worth it. It's an incredible program. And I know she's sitting next to me right now, and I know we were friends on top of that. And so this is going to come across as very biased, and I am biased, but I also know what I know, and that is a world that I know some things about for sure. She is the very best at what she does. And because she is the best at what she does, you're going to only benefit from it. But even through the videos, you will see that she actually cares about you, even though she doesn't know you on the other side of the TV screen. You'll feel that. And I think that that's probably the most impactful thing about what you do. And so it's awesome. And it's been awesome knowing you and getting to know you and having you on the podcast. So
Thank you very much.
for Jonathan Pixley, Dr. Sean Owens, and as always, we're just going to start calling him Dr. Jace Augustus because I think like when you're an expert at that level, there needs to be some type
Professor
of title.
Augustus?
Yeah,
I
something
it,
like
man.
that.
That sounds great.
We will close it out here at the TLW podcast. And as always, go get it.